Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today. Chapter 871. Of course, even for the insect race hive, breeding an insect race warrior that has achieved level 11 perfection in a certain aspect is a massive consumption. This kind of consumption is not only tremendous in terms of resources but also an undeniably heavy burden mentally. Robber Clan War Base. Compared to the war bases of other peak power clans, the Robber Clan's war base is much smaller. However, the oppressive aura emanating from the entire war base is by no means inferior to the others, and might even be somewhat stronger. At the deepest part of the war base, about 100 Robber Clan strong ones are either standing or sitting in small groups. The Robber Clan is different from other peak clan powers. The Robber Clan is just that, with no such thing as a Robber Clan Great Alliance. There are no other alien species in the entire Robber Clan's warbase. According to the Robber Clan, it is the weak who need alliances, the strong do not. In reality, the Robber Clan is targeted by the cosmic will, so any species that gets close to the Robber Clan will also be suppressed by the cosmic will. Therefore, no other species dares to join the Robber Clan. Even for the powerful Robber Clan, under the targeting of the cosmic will, the probability of growing up is 1 in a million, 1 in 10 million. As for other ordinary species, those who dare to approach the Robber Clan probably face the risk of extinction. This time, the right to lead the battlefield belongs to our Robber Clan for the first time. The Robber Clan's strong one sitting at the highest point spoke, his tone filled with a sense of rightful confidence. Are there any strong ones worth paying attention to in the universe lately? It's said that the Human Civilization Alliance has given birth to an extraordinary genius who has stepped into level 11 in 500 to 600 years, and whose mastery over time and space has also reached the 5th realm. Universe talents, blessed by the cosmos, having a smooth journey of cultivation. Not like us from the Robber Clan, where every step forward is taken with immense risk, constantly walking on the verge of the evolutionary path's collapse. The Robber Clan's strong ones exchanged conversations, showing some interest in the Galaxy Master but no more than that, not taking this human prodigy seriously. Every step the Robber Clan takes costs 1,000, 10,000 times more effort than strong ones of other clans, and the death rate is even higher, 100,000, 1,000,000 times. Similarly, those Robber Clan strong ones who can advance further and survive have far superior power compared to strong ones of the same level. A normal level 11 perfected member of the Robber Clan is comparable to the strongest level 11 of major powers, and the strongest level 11 of the Robber Clan. It requires the combined efforts of all the strongest level 11 from other peak clans to barely hold them back. It's barely, and if the strongest level 11 of the Robber Clan gets bored and is willing to pay a small price, they truly cannot be held back by the strongest level 11 of other species. Human Civilization Alliance War Base. Lin Yuan is sitting cross-legged in the control room, carefully observing the structure of the entire ultra-large battlefield. How marvelous! So this is how space-time can be utilized. The more Lin Yuan watched, the more he was immersed, although he and the level 12 ultimate beings all have a comprehension of the 6th realm of space-time. But due to the gap in the level of life, it is difficult for Lin Yuan to feel the most essential aspects of the spatiotemporal fusion rule. However, through this ultra-large battlefield, he has managed to get a glimpse into it. The establishment of the ultra-large battlefield is the collective work of several level 12 ultimate beings, and it helps Lin Yuan far more than the guidance from any single level 12 ultimate being. Alas! Lin Yuan pondered, shaking his head slightly. The ultra-large battlefield is all good, surpassing the large battlefield by far. The only downside is the absence of any significant eternal spatial rifts. This is because the ultra-large battlefield has not yet experienced any high-intensity wars among the major species. It is foreseeable that after a few large-scale, comprehensive wars, when the major peak powers really clash and their level 12 strategies are revealed, creating permanent spatial rifts will be a matter of time. Thinking of the permanent spatial rifts, Lin Yuan thought of the world-breaking origin force. The total amount of world-breaking origin force Lin Yuan has gathered is now close to 1,100 strands. After the 10th traversal ended, the world-breaking origin force that Lin Yuan had accumulated approached 1,000 strands. During this time, the avatar left in the large battlefield has been collecting world-breaking origin force for Lin Yuan at the rate of 1 strand every 90 days. Myriad Realms Gate. Lin Yuan's consciousness sank into the depths of his mind, gazing at the towering and majestic Myriad Realms Gate. After stepping into level 11, Lin Yuan could easily feel that the Myriad Realms Gate had solidified a great deal, almost becoming tangible. When Lin Yuan first saw the Myriad Realms Gate, it was incredibly illusory, but as he continued to leap through the layers of life, the Myriad Realms Gate gradually became real. It carried a hint of the secret technique created by the Moyu Tower Master, the illusory reality. No, the reality of the Myriad Realms Gate was even more authentic than all other realities. Compared to it, Lin Yuan himself felt like an illusion. Perhaps when I step into level 12 and become the ultimate existence, will the Myriad Realms Gate fully coalesce into reality? Lin Yuan pondered to himself. The Myriad Realms Gate now, although nearly real, was ultimately not reality but still a projection of the true Myriad Realms Gate. Based on the constant changes in the Myriad Realms Gate over the years, from illusory to real, Lin Yuan came up with such a thought. Without any accidents, once Lin Yuan becomes a Supreme One and his life level leaps significantly, the Myriad Realms Gate will similarly draw near to reality. I wonder what changes will occur once the Myriad Realms Gate completely becomes real? Lin Yuan was quite curious in his heart. His trip to the two-dimensional world had led him to speculate whether the Myriad Realms Gate was an artifact of the perfect time being level. Perfect time being? That was the realm and domain that His Majesty Shenhuang and the Moyu Tower Master had been pursuing all their lives. It is said that perfect time beings do not exist in the present or the past but in the future, or perhaps other timelines. Lin Yuan's heart suddenly stirred, looking towards the control room's exterior. Shen Yuanyu and a group of Human Civilization Alliance Level 11 evolvers were waiting there, wanting to meet with him. Come in. Lin Yuan opened the entrance to the control room, moving everyone in. Greetings, Galaxy Master. Shen Yuanyu bowed slightly, without a hint of arrogance. As the direct disciple of the first Supreme One of human civilization, Shen Yuanyu's status in human civilization was absolutely the highest beneath the 9 Supreme Ones. But facing the Galaxy Master, Shen Yuanyu showed ample respect. From the occasional hints revealed by the Shen Yuan Supreme, Shen Yuanyu knew the Galaxy Master was the most hopeful existence to become the strongest in the history of Human Civilization Alliance. What concept was that? Shen Yuanyu dared not ponder too deeply, but he knew that one must absolutely not offend the Galaxy Master by even a fraction. Even the Supremes believed the Galaxy Master had the greatest chance of stepping into level 12. Offending the Galaxy Master now would be equivalent to offending the future Supreme One. Therefore, even with the protection of the Shen Yuan Supreme, Shen Yuanyu could not bear the consequences of that outcome. Shen Yuanyu felt this way, and naturally other level 11 perfected evolvers felt the same. They followed and bowed to Lin Yuan. Greetings, Galaxy Master. Lin Yuan glanced at the group of people and nodded slightly. What's the matter? Lin Yuan asked directly. This is the plan we've devised to deal with other alien strong ones. Please have a look, Galaxy Master. Shen Yuanyu sent an email to Lin Yuan, which detailed how to deal with each alien strong one. Especially regarding the peak forces among the strongest level 11, there were very specific and detailed countermeasures. These were all based on the intelligence collected by the Human Civilization Alliance and then arranged according to the strength of each level 11 evolver from his faction. The considerations were indeed comprehensive. Coming to see Lin Yuan this time, they sought the approval of the overseer of the Human Civilization Alliance warbase. Without Lin Yuan's nod, The plan devised by Shen Yuanyu and the many level 11 powerhouses could not be executed. If the Galaxy Master has any opinions, please share them, and I will add them, Shen Yuanyu added before sending the email. Let me have a look. Lin Yuan opened the email, casually browsing through it. Chapter 872. You are all surrounded by me. Shen Yuanyu's war plan was quite comprehensive, but what Lin Yuan was primarily interested in was not the plan itself, but the peak powers and individual strong beings of other pinnacle races, as adversaries of the Human Civilization Alliance. Every member of the robber clan requires 20 of our same-level evolvers just to restrain them? Lin Yuan saw the battle plan against the robber clan. Even though Lin Yuan had heard of the fearsomeness of this race, he was still somewhat astonished. From Shen Yuanyu's war plan, Lin Yuan saw no intention of wanting to defeat the opponent. The entire purpose was to hold back the robber clan powerhouses. The robber clan is terrifying. Shen Yuanyu sighed. Had their challenge to ultimate not been so astoundingly difficult, this universe might well have been under the robber clan's control. To strike at the ultimate from the 11th level, one must break free from the bonds of the River of Time. For a normal 11th level to escape the River of Time, the difficulty is 10, then for the robber clan it is 100, 1,000. The moment a robber clan member challenges the ultimate, backlash from the entire universe descends without giving them any chance to adapt or react. This is also why there are currently only 2 ultimate beings at the 12th level among the robber clan. Aside from their sparse population, their success rate of reaching the ultimate is pitifully low. There's nothing wrong with the war plan. Lin Yuan looked towards Shen Yuanyu and spoke. However, there's no need to arrange for me. In Shen Yuanyu's war plan, there were also arrangements for Lin Yuan, such as dealing with the strongest 11th level of some pinnacle race powers. Not arrange for the Galaxy Master? Shen Yuanyu was somewhat puzzled in his heart, but proceeded anyway. All right. Even though this would greatly increase the pressure on other 11th level evolvers from human civilization. But Shen Yuanyu had no intention of questioning Lin Yuan's orders. All right. Once the full-scale war begins, just contact me directly. Handle other matters on your own. Lin Yuan gestured, moving all the 11th level perfected evolvers outside the control room like Shen Yuanyu. Chaos Rule. While comprehending the spatiotemporal fusion rule and many other rules, Lin Yuan was also contemplating how to derive the Chaos Rule. After stepping into the 11th level, Lin Yuan's clarity of rule comprehension as well as his against heaven's understanding had both significantly improved. But regarding the Chaos Rule, he still found no direction. All things in the world originate from chaos, but what exactly is chaos, and how can one comprehend the Chaos Rule? Lin Yuan felt bewildered. Shen Huang and the Moyu Tower Master had both derived the Chaos Rule, and their explanation for deriving the Chaos Rule was that they had accumulated enough foundation, and then it came naturally. However, it's unclear just how much foundation must be accumulated for it to be enough. Both Shen Huang and the Moyu Tower Master are Chaos Realm powerhouses. If the required foundation here pertains to the bounds of the Chaos Realm, then Lin Yuan is destined not to comprehend the Chaos Rule at the 11th level. Even as strong as Shen Huang and the Moyu Tower Master, neither had the experience of deriving the Chaos Rule at the 11th level. Take it slow. I'm not in a hurry. Worst case, I'll spend more time at the 11th level. Without certainty, I definitely won't challenge the ultimate. Lin Yuan's thoughts converged, and with his current strength of mind and will, he could easily live until the end of the cosmic era. Mere centuries, even counting all the time traveling through worlds, meant Lin Yuan had only lived through a few thousand years, an insignificant speck compared to a complete cosmic era. Therefore, Lin Yuan still had plenty of time to slowly contemplate. Martial Tao 11th tier? Lin Yuan devoted a part of his mind, attempting to create a complete first-tier chapter of the Martial Tao. This was also a review and summary of his own path. Creating the Martial Tao 11th tier chapter wasn't just about advancing the evolution pathway of Martial Tao to the 11th tier. It's about reflecting on the journey thus far. Only by doing so could he grasp the present to better foresee his future. Beyond the super-large battlefield, numerous ultimate beings at the 12th level observed casually. Xia Qin, Tell me the truth. Is that Galaxy Master the same as the human Shuayu? A supreme being from the Star Alliance asked the supreme being Xiaqin through telepathy. Although this guess was incredible. For example, when that white paper descended into this universe, the Galaxy Master was only at the 10th layer. Inside the two-dimensional world, all extraordinary powers were suppressed, and theoretically the 10th layer and 11th layer started from the same point. But it was only the same starting point. As time went on, the one with the higher life level grew at a much faster pace than those at lower levels. The Galaxy Master was merely at the 10th layer, and even if he possessed treasures from human civilization that could break free from the suppression of the two-dimensional world. But the realm and life level of the Galaxy Master were set, and no matter how powerful the treasures, one needed sufficient strength to activate them. The Galaxy Master initially was but at the 10th layer. How could he possibly overpower the 4 Divine Kings and other legends of the 11th layer perfected being? Furthermore, the 4 Divine Kings also brought their strongest weapons suited for themselves. However, based on the current strength displayed by the Galaxy Master, he equaled the strongest 11th layer of the major peak races upon first entering the 11th layer. Additionally, when that white paper descended, the Galaxy Master also fell into it. And Shuayu and the Galaxy Master had never appeared at the same time and place. As well as, after white paper exited the universe, the Galaxy Master quickly ascended to the 11th layer and so on. Logically, after the fundamental loss from the two-dimensional world, the Galaxy Master should have been affected even with human civilization's compensation, so how could he easily step into the 11th layer? Chapter 873. The only explanation is that the Galaxy Master was not affected by the two-dimensional world. This is consistent with Shuayu surviving and leaving the two-dimensional world. Numerous clues all point to one possibility. That is, the human Shuayu who massacred in the two-dimensional world is actually the Galaxy Master. If it were just one similar clue, it might have been a coincidence, but with all clues being so similar, even without concrete evidence, the supreme beings of the Star Alliance are mostly convinced. And then, Xiaqin, the supreme being, said indifferently. When Lin Yuan entered the battlefield and revealed some of his power, Xiaqin, the supreme being, foresaw that the identity of human Shuayu might be exposed. But so what? If it's exposed, then it's exposed. What can the myriad tribes powerhouses, who died at the hands of human Shuayu in the two-dimensional world, do? Very good. The supreme being of the Star Alliance was silent for a while, feeling a strong shock in his heart. Even when he saw human Shuayu crushing the 4 Divine Kings in the two-dimensional world initially, he wasn't much shocked, especially after speculating that this human Shuayu might possess treasures granted by the Human Civilization Alliance. But when human Shuayu overlapped with the Galaxy Master, this supreme being of the Star Alliance became somewhat restless. Monster. The monstrous degree of the Galaxy Master exceeded the expectations of all supreme beings. Human Shuayu is the Galaxy Master? How is that possible? Wasn't the Galaxy Master a level 10 at that time? A level 10 can sweep a level 11 perfect? The many supreme beings, quick in their thoughts, also associated the Galaxy Master with human Shuayu. Sweeping a level 11 perfect wouldn't surprise the supreme beings, but a level 10 sweeping a level 11 perfect, even in an environment like the two-dimensional world, is utterly ridiculous. Even the robber clan couldn't possibly do it, right? Indeed, the robber clan is known to be invincible among their peers, but fighting across levels? From level 1 to 12, perhaps below level 6, it's possible to fight across levels as the gaps are not large. But the higher the level, the more difficult it becomes to fight across levels. A level 10 fighting across to a level 11 perfect? The fact that human Shuayu is the Galaxy Master spread among the supreme beings, and soon those strongest level 11 beings below them also learned about it. Especially inside the massive battlefield, many alien strong ones need to treat the Galaxy Master as their opponent. The more they know about him, the more confident they are. The Galaxy Master is that human Shuayu? Really? The supreme being told me personally. What do you think? The level 11 elites of the major peak powers could hardly believe it, many of whom had experienced the journey to the two-dimensional world and still linger under the shadow of human Shuayu. Now they are told that the human Shuayu back then was merely level 10, and just a few hundred years old? Galaxy Master? Inside the war base of the Star Alliance, the four divine kings sat cross-legged, their faces falling into silence once again. The impact that human Shuyu initially had on them was already great, but now, knowing the true identity of human Shuyu, the four divine kings found themselves momentarily blank. War base of the Human Civilization Alliance. Shen Yuanyu and a group of level 11 evolutionists were also having a lively discussion. The Galaxy Master is level 11? So that's why the Galaxy Master became the dominator of this war. With such strength at level 10, I feel I've wasted millions of years. The level 11 evolutionists excitedly discussed. Compared to other alien strong ones, the evolutionists of human civilization felt not just shock, but also a sense of pride upon learning that human Shuyu is the Galaxy Master. After all, this is a peerless genius from their human civilization. Although human Shuyu is originally a human evolver, human Shuyu and the Galaxy Master are not the same thing at all. Human Shuyu, no matter how strong, is still within reason, as it's unknown how many years human Shuyu practiced. But the Galaxy Master? The growth trajectory of the Galaxy Master is no secret, easily traceable with a bit of investigation. The overlap of the two creates a shock effect far surpassing any individual one. Galaxy Master? Is it the human Shuyu? In the corner, Nalen was somewhat stunned, only now remembering how he had repeatedly invited Lin Yuan to meet the human Shuyu in the two-dimensional world, but it had never been realized. Now it seems, the human Shuyu is the Galaxy Master. Why bother meeting, then not meeting? All right. Whether the Galaxy Master is the human Shuyu or not, we cannot afford to lose in the upcoming war. Shen Yuanyu was equally shocked, but his face showed no expression. Instead, he calmly spoke. No wonder the Supreme Being said that the Galaxy Master has the most hope of stepping into level 12. With such capability at level 10, the foundation is indeed a great deal stronger than mine. Shen Yuanyu thought to himself. Time slowly passed. The fact that the human Shuyu was the Galaxy Master stirred quite a ripple among the level 11 circles, but was soon suppressed by the looming large-scale war. The core area of the mega-sized battlefield. The 12 Pinnacle clan forces began to converge continuously at the center of the battlefield. One by one, the level 11 powerhouses stood in the void, their terrifying aura permeating and the power of level 12 supreme weapons expanding and colliding. Human. Several insect race hives hovered in midair, and a massive army of insect race warriors surged out. During the massive war, various Pinnacle clan forces clashed in turn. The Human Civilization Alliance and the Insect Race Alliance were opponents. Moreover, the other 10 Pinnacle clans were also engaged in slaughter. In the vast center of the battlefield, the fluctuations of space-time boiled, and frightful aura burst forth unchecked. Watch out for soul attacks. Shen Yuanyu took the lead and charged towards the largest hive. Buzzing. Space twisted, and terrifying soul attacks descended, numerous level 11 perfect insect race warriors launching attacks simultaneously. Although the insect race hive was not adept at direct combat, it did not mean it lacked any self-preservation abilities. The soul attacks from the insect race hive were unique among the 11 Pinnacle clan forces. Insect race hives needed to control a large number of insect race warriors simultaneously, which required a vast amount of mental will. The higher the mental will, the stronger the mastery in soul aspects. Not good. Shen Yuanyu only felt his vision blur before he recovered. A golden gem subtly appearing on his forehead to suppress the soul and resist any attacks. Unexpectedly, you insect race's queen brought that treasure along. Shen Yuanyu's face became solemn, staring directly at the distant huge insect race hive. Waves of illusory fluctuations spreading from the hive center to all directions, impacting all level 11 powerhouses of the Human Civilization Alliance. Nightmare Realm. Shen Yuanyu stared at the tiny palace-shaped weapon atop the huge insect race hive. The Nightmare Realm was the insect race's clan suppression weapon, extremely potent in area soul attacks. This weapon had troubled the feather butterfly supreme being of human civilization many times. On another side of the battlefield, a terrifying figure casually exerted force. Around him, 7 to 8 figures were struggling hard, each of these figures emitting an aura not inferior to Shen Yuan Yu's, yet they were being overpowered by the onslaught of a single powerful being and were at a disadvantage. Human civilization is struggling. Where did that Galaxy Master go? This terrifying figure was the strongest level 11 of the robber clan, his gaze glancing at the battlefield between humans and the insect race. The matter of the Galaxy Master and human Shuiyu also piqued his curiosity. He had seen the battle images from the two-dimensional world, and the power of the human Shuiyu had even put some pressure on him. The insect race actually brought the nightmare realm. Human civilization is in danger. Without a same-level clan suppression weapon, defeat might be inevitable. Where is the Galaxy Master then? Is he too scared to even appear? Other Pinnacle clan forces engaged in battle also observed, noting the dire situation human civilization was falling into. Soul annihilation. In the battlefield between the insect race and human civilization, the largest insect race hive was fully activating the clan suppression weapon, Nightmare Realm. The void power of the nightmare began sweeping. Many human civilizations' evolvers felt their consciousness drift towards unconsciousness, faces showing signs of despair. Just then, a diminutive young man suddenly arrived at the center of the battlefield, raising his right foot and gently stomping down, space-time faintly turning into a swirling millstone, crushing numerous powerful insect race warriors. The largest insect race hive was forced to retreat a great distance, the nightmare realm atop it spinning rapidly. The young man looked around, his gaze crossing the battlefield between the insect race and human civilization, looking towards other Pinnacle clan forces engaged in battle, a smile appearing on his face. You are all surrounded by me. Chapter 874. The Might of the World. The first large-scale war after the superscale battlefield was established, similarly received the utmost attention from all 12-step ultimate beings. Insect race's nightmare realm was refined from the 12-step soul treasure, the Nightmare Heart. The Nightmare Heart originally drifted from the chaos void into the universe, falling into the hands of the insect race's myriad transformation queen. With the Nightmare Heart as the main material, the refined Nightmare Realm has an inconceivable suppressive effect on the soul. The 12-step ultimate beings watched the core battlefield and exchanged their thoughts. The Nightmare Heart is fundamentally not a treasure that the universe can nurture. It comes from the even more vast chaos void, innately suppressing any soul power. The insect race's myriad transformation queen, with tremendous effort and the assistance of many auxiliary materials, was able to forge the Nightmare Realm. This clan suppression weapon in the hands of the insect queen can unleash power that doesn't fall short of the void realm world of human civilization. Nightmare Realm. Xia Qin, among the 9 human civilization supremes, glanced at the insect race alliance.
No worries.
The 11th level cannot manifest much of the Nightmare Realm's power. The hitherto silent Shen Yuan Supreme spoke. The more powerful the supreme weapon, the higher the requirements for the user. Like the Nightmare Realm and the Angel Crown, such clan suppression weapons, if controlled by level 11 beings by some shortcut, can display power just a bit stronger than ordinary supreme weapons. Among the various treasures bestowed by Shen Yuan Supreme to Shen Yuan Yu, if not to crush the Nightmare Realm, at least resisting it wouldn't be a problem. Long before the superscale battlefield was established, human civilization had already made many simulation predictions. They anticipated the tactics of the other 11 peak race forces. The Nightmare Realm of the insect race was completely within expectations. But, Galaxy Master, Shen Yuan Supreme felt a bit puzzled. However, the next moment, a figure plummeted into the center of the battlefield where humans and the insect race were slaughtering each other. This figure was none other than the Galaxy Master, who with just a light stomp, terrifying space-time fluctuations turned into millstones, ripping apart and grinding many insect race warriors to dust. The level 11 insect race hives, like boats adrift on the sea, were teetering on the edge. The insect race hive that activated the Nightmare Realm deep within the insect race alliance recoiled a great distance. The palace overhead that was continuously emitting null fluctuations also began to spin unexpectedly, as if it had been subjected to some severe impact. For a moment, all the gazes of the 12-step ultimate beings converged on the battlefield between human civilization and the insect race. One should know most 12-step ultimate beings were focusing on the battlefields of the robber clan, the universe, and other races. After all, those were the battlefields where the fighting was most fierce, especially the robber clan, whose strongest level 11 alone was suppressing other peak groups' strongest level 11s, leaving them with barely any power to retaliate. Many 12-step ultimate beings intended to glimpse some tactics of the robber clan's two 12-step ultimate beings from their strongest level 11. But now, Galaxy Master? Just a stomp and almost swept through the insect race alliance. Even the Nightmare Realm was impacted, interrupting the soul suppression. What treasure did this Galaxy Master use? Could it be that true heritage of human civilization was brought into the battle? The 12-step ultimate beings looked at each other in disbelief. At least the power shown by the Galaxy Master was definitely at the level of the robber clan's strongest level 11. The various races' strongest level 11s wielding clan suppression weapons would need nearly 10 of them just to barely hold off the robber clan's strongest level 11. In the center of the battlefield between human civilization and the insect race, Lin Yuan looked around. The reason he waited until now to appear was precisely because the grand battlefield had just begun, with many level 11s not yet entering Lin Yuan's killing range. Here, the killing range meant a radius of 700 billion li centered around Lin Yuan. This is also the limit of the world size within Lin Yuan's body. Upon activating Physical Body Divine Ability World, within 700 billion li, everything is transformed into Lin Yuan's world. This isn't to say Lin Yuan's attack range is limited to 700 billion li. But beyond this range, there is no certainty of a kill. After all, a significant number of level 11 powerhouses entering the battlefield possess supreme weapons for protection. Lin Yuan, facing tens of thousands alone with scattered power, and also separated by a distance of 700 billion li, indeed is unsure of killing a level 11 perfect who is desperately fleeing and protected by a supreme weapon. But within 700 billion li it's different. Within the range of Divine Ability World, Lin Yuan's strength will be deployed to its greatest extent. It's about time. Lin Yuan's mind remained calm, and he also noticed the gaze from tens of thousands of level 11 powerhouses. When he descended just now, merely stomping his foot caused an uproar within the entire insect race alliance, and this scene was also witnessed by other peak races. Such an overwhelming display of strength left all level 11 powerhouses bewildered. Divine Ability World. With a slight fluctuation of thought, the imprint of the world, divine ability deep within Lin Yuan's body, suddenly began to vibrate and spread. Strands of world power centered around Lin Yuan instantaneously permeated a range of 700 billion li. Ever since entering the superscale battlefield, Lin Yuan had been restraining his strength, all for this moment. If his true strength were exposed too early, how could these powerhouses from all the peak races gather here obediently for Lin Yuan to slaughter? Although with Lin Yuan present, they would ultimately be able to control the war in the superscale battlefield. Chapter 875. But how could Lin Yuan collect resources to cultivate the Shenhuang physique if he couldn't kill those 11th rank strong ones of the alien races? Boom! An oppressive and heavy aura enveloped an area of 700 billion li in an instant, causing tens of thousands of 11th rank strong ones to feel their bodies and souls completely suppressed. It wasn't an ordinary suppression, but a total suppression, with only 1% of their original strength remaining. Under Lin Yuan's Divine Ability World, the ordinary 11th rank strong ones could be crushed instantly. Even those 11th rank perfect strong ones, protected by supreme weapons, could only hold on for a few breaths, and that was all. What's happening? My strength has been suppressed by 99%? It's the Galaxy Master. The source of suppression comes from the Galaxy Master. The thought processes of the 11th rank strong ones were incredibly fast, and they immediately realized something was wrong. From the arrival of the Galaxy Master on the battlefield to now, only an instant had passed. Just a moment ago, They were shocked by the sound of the Galaxy Master stomping, and the next moment, they all became trapped fishes within the divine ability world. Go! Immediately get away from the Galaxy Master. Get away from the Galaxy Master. See if we can escape this suppression. Numerous 11th rank strong ones, almost at the same time, abandoned their battles and turned to flee farther away. As an instinct of the strong, they knew that hesitating further could result in life or death danger. In such circumstances, the top-tier ethnic group powers remarkably had the same goal and fled in panic. Escape? Can they even escape? Lin Yuan stood at the center of the coverage of the divine ability world. As the caster of the divine ability, he had complete control over everything within 700 billion li. The changes in the expressions of those 11th rank strong ones and the turmoil of their inner chi, as they desperately tried different methods, all fell into Lin Yuan's eyes. Lin Yuan activated the divine ability world, and used the world power of the 700 billion li area to crush all the strong ones from the alien races, except those from the Human Civilization Alliance. The duration of the divine ability world was only 6 seconds. From activation of the world divine ability to covering an area of 700 billion li, only 1/10,000th of a second had passed. Whoosh! The majestic world power poured down mercilessly. In just 1 second, the first round of crushing was completed. In an area of 700 billion li, all 11th rank strong ones from the 1st to the 4th tier without supreme weapons were obliterated. It is worth noting that among the 11th rank strong ones from various top-tier ethnic groups who entered the battlefield, although their number reached tens of thousands, those below the 5th tier made up 90%. And now, just the first round of crushing by the divine ability world, and 90% of the tens of thousands of 11th rank strong ones were annihilated, leaving only a few thousand 11th rank 5th tier and above strong ones alive. These strong ones survived not because their own strength was great. To the current Lin Yuan, the difference between the 1st and the 5th tier of the 11th rank wasn't that significant. The reason they could withstand the first round of crushing by divine ability world was because of the supreme weapons they carried. The power of the 12th tier protected them. Of course, even if they survived by relying on the power of the supreme weapons, most of the 11th rank 5th tier strong ones were white-faced. Under the relentless crushing of the vast world power, even if protected by supreme weapons capable of blocking 99.9999% of the force, the residual chi that seeped in, having just 0.0001% strength left, still heavily injured these 11th rank 5th tier strong ones. I'm protected by the supreme armor, and I still can't completely block it? The face of the 11th rank godlord from the Tianyu clan showed terror. What kind of technique is this? This 11th rank godlord looked around and discovered that 90% of the 11th rank godlords from the Tianyu clan had turned to ashes, leaving only those few with supreme weapons. Run! We can't stay here any longer. The 11th rank godlord was immediately panicked, having never felt such despair except when facing the supreme beings. Even the strongest 11th rank Tianyu Meng from his own clan could not impact him so greatly. So many Tianyu clan 11th rank godlords, all dead? This 11th rank godlord wanted to escape at all costs. But under the oppression of the external world, his speed was as slow as a turtle's. Before they could get far, the crushing force of the magnificent second wave of the world's power suddenly descended. According to Lin Yuan's estimation, the external world that lasted for 6 seconds could complete 5 rounds of crushing in 5 seconds. As for the last second, it was used to detonate the entire external world, which was also the most powerful burst method. What kind of power would it produce once self-destructed within the internal world spanning 700 billion miles? Ah! The second wave of crushing descended, and even with the strongest weapon protecting him, that 11th rank Tianyu clan member couldn't hold on. The residual force that penetrated obliterated his physical body and soul. The second passed. The external world completed the second round of crushing. Under the second round of crushing, 1/5 of the 11th rank, 5th tier strong ones who possessed the strongest weapon protection perished. As for the 11th rank, 6th tier, that is, the level 11 perfect strong ones, they were barely hanging on with the power of the strongest weapon. Don't underestimate these 11th rank. Lin Yuan thought to himself, as the external world reached the third second and the third wave of world crushing began. Boom boom boom. One by one, the 11th rank, 5th tier strong ones quickly perished, while the remaining 11th rank, 6th tier strong ones' souls were trembling. They had originally planned to wait and see, but they didn't expect the consequences to be so severe. Run quickly. What exactly is going on? Is it the Galaxy Master who's making a move? How can the Galaxy Master have such terrifying power? It must be the strongest one. It must be the strongest one making a move. There's a strongest one breaking the agreement and attacking us. The cries of many 11th rank strong ones along with the fluctuations of time and space echoed continuously within 700 billion miles, filled with intense unwillingness and fear. In the eyes of all 11th rank strong ones, no one else could unleash such powerful attacks except for the strongest ones. The third second passed. There were hardly any 11th rank, 5th tier strong ones left, and casualties began to appear among the 11th rank, 6th tier strong ones. The strongest weapons are of different types, some are for attack and some for defense. Some 11th rank, 6th tier strong ones, holding attacking type strongest weapons, perhaps are not as good in defense as the 5th tier 11th ranks holding defensive type strongest weapons. The fourth second arrived. Am I going to die? The 4 divine kings looked desperate. After 4 consecutive rounds of world's power crushing, this legendary life of a perfect 11th rank was on the verge of death. In fact, if not for the strongest weapon protecting him with the strength of the 4 divine kings, he most likely wouldn't have survived past the first second. Galaxy Master? Before his physical and soul completely collapsed, the 4 divine kings actually stopped fleeing, turned around, and looked towards the Galaxy Master standing at the center of the battlefield. Not long ago, when he learned that the Galaxy Master was human Shuayu, aside from being inconceivable, he also felt a gap between himself and the Galaxy Master, probably not as vast as a two-dimensional world. But now, tens of thousands of 11th rank strong ones, including those holding the strongest weapons, couldn't even last a few seconds in front of the Galaxy Master. The thoughts of the 4 divine kings suddenly halted, because the embodiment he had on the battlefield had completely died. Lin Yuan surveyed his surroundings. The moment the divine ability world was condensed, the tens of thousands of 11th rank caused a great disturbance, trying to break free from the suppression. But after the first second passed, 90% of the 11th rank had died, and the range covered by the external world quieted down a lot, but still filled with some piercing screams and resentful roars. But the second, third second, and fourth second passed. The range of the external world finally quieted down completely. For rounds of magnificent world's power crushing, even the strong ones of level 11 perfect, all perished, leaving only a few dozen of the strongest 11th rank from various peak clans, barely struggling. Chapter 876. The Perplexed Human Supreme. For seconds ago, tens of thousands of level 11 fighters were locked in fierce combat. For seconds later, only fewer than 100 of the strongest level 11 fighters were struggling to resist. With a slight thought, Lin Yuan gathered a multitude of supreme weapons and scattered treasures into his inner world. Any treasure that could withstand the crushing force of the 4 immense world forces and remain intact was exceptionally precious. Those slightly inferior were crushed to smithereens, used as nourishment for cultivating the Shenhuang physique. On the side of the Human Civilization Alliance, Shen Yuanyu and a group of 11th level perfected evolvers were staring blankly at everything happening on the battlefield. Originally, under the threat of the insect race hive manipulating the Nightmare Realm, Shen Yuanyu even considered using the backup given to him by the Shen Yuan Supreme to counter the influence of the Nightmare Realm. But now, without activating his countermeasure, the many 11th level fighters from the Insect Race Alliance had dwindled to 5 or 6 barely alive insect race hives. The rest were dead, with countless insect race warriors reduced to ashes. What happened? Shen Yuanyu's thoughts nearly came to a halt, clearly seeing the scene before him, but instinctively, he still found it hard to believe. Thousands of level 11 fighters from alien races just like that, gone? It's the Galaxy Master. Shen Yuanyu looked towards the distant Lin Yuan. Under the envelopment of the outer world, all the alien level 11 fighters were completely suppressed, whereas the level 11 fighters from the Human Civilization Alliance were not treated so. But with Shen Yuan Yu's strength, he immediately noticed that the surrounding space-time had already changed, and the source of the change was the distant Galaxy Master. Dead. They're all dead. An 11th level perfected evolver murmured to himself beside him, clearly shocked by the scene before his eyes. When did level 11 fighters start dying en masse like mere ants? This is level 11. Not cabbages by the roadside. Even the ultimate beings would not strike against so many level 11s, for that would easily provoke retaliation from other supreme beings. You slaughter my race's level 11 fighters. I slaughter your race's level 11 fighters. Galaxy Master. Tianyu Meng, the strongest level 11 of the Tianyu clan, turned around, her angelic crown draping heavy curtains of light, blocking the oppressive force of the 4 immense world forces rolling in. As the Tianyu clan suppression weapon, the angelic crown's capabilities could be deemed all-powerful, excelling in both defense and oppressive attacks. Galaxy Master? How is the Galaxy Master so strong? The strongest level 11 from the robber clan couldn't believe it either. In the first second of the immense world force's oppression, he sensed something amiss and immediately fled towards the distance. Yet, under the world's suppression, he hadn't escaped far before enduring the crushing force of the 4 immense world forces. The crushing force of the 4 immense world forces, even for the strongest level 11 from the robber clan, proved hard to withstand, causing injuries to both his physical body and soul. This was after he had activated the life-saving technique granted by the strongest beings of the robber clan. Without this technique, he would have likely perished long ago. How can there be such a powerful entity below level 12? The strongest level 11 of the robber clan found it unbelievable. As the most likely candidate to challenge level 12 from the robber clan, he was well aware of many secrets regarding cultivation. He knew the limits of level 11 well. To a certain extent, he was exceedingly close to the limit of level 11. But now, in front of Lin Yuan, the so-called limit of level 11 seemed like a joke. The strongest level 11s from the Tianyu clan and the robber clan could not comprehend Lin Yuan's terrifying power. But one thing was clear to all the strong: flee. Flee far away. Staying any longer would mean death. The strongest level 11s from various peak clans were already struggling under the first wave of the immense world force's crushing power. However, just at that moment, the 5th second stealthily arrived. The crushing of the 5th wave of immense world force began to descend. This wave of world force's crushing power reduced the remaining strongest level 11th fighters by a third. Chu Li Xiao and other strongest level 11s, who had no clan suppression weapon to protect them, had their physical bodies and souls shattered. We can't wait any longer. The strongest level 11 from the robber clan roared. His eyes were like 2 universes intertwining mysterious powers, tearing open a pitch-black spatial rift, and the next instant, fleeing far from the coverage area of the outer world. Soon after, Tianyu Meng and other strongest level 11s wielding clan suppression weapons did the same, activating the ultimate moves left within the weapons by the supreme beings, unleashing strikes with hundreds of thousands of battle power indexes, forcibly tearing space and escaping. They actually escaped from under the cover of my world divine skills? Lin Yuan roughly locked on to the positions of those few strongest level 11s through causal sensing, instantly arriving at the edge of the battlefield, and because of causal weakening among other factors, they seemingly vanished completely. Was that a real level 12 technique? Lin Yuan mused from a distance. Not long after the 5th wave of immense world force-crushing power arrived, over 20 of the strongest level 11s used their final trump cards, tearing through space, leaving the core battlefield. No way. Even if I detonated the outer world in the first second, I could not kill them. In the instant of facing death, those supreme techniques would activate on their own, taking them far away. Lin Yuan frowned slightly. With his current strength, dealing with level 11s, even those wielding supreme weapons, was as easy as flipping a hand, but if ultimate beings of level 12 intervened, they were not within Lin Yuan's ability to suppress. Chapter 877. Although those 12-star ultimate existences didn't directly intervene in the battlefield, their contingencies left in the clan suppression weapons were activated, which is an indirect interference. So be it. Only a little over 20 escaped. Lin Yuan turned his attention back to the remaining strongest 11th level entities. Not every strongest 11th level entity carried a clan suppression weapon, and those without one found it very difficult to tear open the spatial enclosure of the external world and were essentially unable to escape. The remaining 11th levels will not withstand the 6th round of pressure from the external world. There's no need to detonate world. Lin Yuan gave it a moment's thought and made his decision. If the strongest 11th level from the robber clan was still present, for the sake of caution, Lin Yuan would detonate world. But now, with those strongest 11th level entities having fled, there was no need to expose the full power of the divine ability world. Whirring. In an instant, the 6th round of worldly suppression arrived. The remaining strongest 11th level entities from the various peak races had their physical bodies and souls shatter under the suppression, leaving behind many treasures floating in the air, which were ultimately collected by Lin Yuan. Phew! The fluctuations of the divine ability world gradually dissipated. After 6 seconds, only the 11th level powerhouses of the Human Civilization Alliance remained on the once vast and expansive battlefield. As for the 11th level powerhouses from other races, almost all were dead, with only a few over 20 having escaped. Lin Yuan was satisfied with this outcome. It was probably unprecedented in the long history since the cosmos was established for all the strongest 11th level entities sent by the peak races to be annihilated. Perhaps a major peak race once saw the fall of a large number of 11th level avatars, but to include all the peak races, especially the robber clan, such an incident had never happened before. I've truly made a fortune this time. Lin Yuan briefly surveyed his inner world, where mighty weapons lay strewn carelessly in corners, alongside many other 12-star rare treasures and contingencies left by 12-star levels. From the journey in the two-dimensional world, Lin Yuan emerged as the ultimate victor. Aside from the oddities returned to the human civilization, he collected nearly 100 treasures. Of these, roughly over 30 could be considered mighty weapons. But now, the number of mighty weapons stored in Lin Yuan's inner world was far more than 30, at least 10 times more. With the help of these resources, my Xianhuang physique may not be able to cultivate to level 11 perfect, but I can certainly make a significant leap towards perfection. Lin Yuan felt elated. The number of mighty weapons he now possessed probably surpassed the total number of mighty weapons ever crafted by the human civilization. It's a pity I didn't get a single clan suppression weapon. Lin Yuan sighed inwardly. However, on second thought, he accepted it. Even if a clan suppression weapon were placed in front of him right now, Lin Yuan might not dare to take it. A clan suppression weapon, due to its nature, is capable of sustaining the power of 12-star ultimate beings, exceeding ordinary mighty weapons. If Lin Yuan were to carelessly incorporate a clan suppression weapon into his inner world, he might very well be inviting the wolf into his house. Galaxy Master. At this moment, Shen Yuanyu, leading a group of human 11th level perfected evolvers, flew towards Lin Yuan. Lin Yuan glanced at Shen Yuanyu, with most of his attention still on evaluating the spoils within his inner world. There was no helping it. The harvest was too abundant. Many of the treasures were beyond his immediate comprehension, and he could only ponder over them slowly. What now? What should we do now? Shen Yuanyu asked the question on his mind. Logically speaking, as an 11th level from the Human Civilization Alliance side, at this time, they should be fiercely battling the 11th level entities of the other races. But now, all of the other races' 11th level entities were dealt with by Lin Yuan alone. This resulted in the 11th level powerhouses of the Human Civilization Alliance not knowing what to do. Wait for the response of the Supreme Beings. Lin Yuan spoke. Everything that happened within the supermassive battlefield was surely under the watch of the 12-star ultimate beings. Now, they only need to see what the other peak cosmic race forces will think. Should I concede defeat and cede the first battlefield dominance, or attempt to commit more 11th level perfected evolvers? All right, Shen Yuanyu nodded. He should have thought of this sooner. Only the actions of the Galaxy Master left his mind in disarray, slowing his thought processes considerably, his heart unable to calm for a long time. Beyond the super-large battlefield, the ultimate beings of the 12-star level also fell into silence. When Lin Yuan first arrived at the battlefield, his stomp almost wiped out the insect race alliance. The 12-star ultimate beings then sensed something was amiss. However, none of the 12-star ultimate beings anticipated such an outcome. Within a mere 6 seconds, only the Human Civilization Alliance remained out of the 12 peak tribal powers. During that time, some 12-star ultimate beings wanted to intervene, but the super-large battlefield was forged jointly by numerous ultimate beings, and partial authority was held by the supreme beings of human civilization. Without the consent of the human civilization's supreme beings, other 12-star ultimate beings found it difficult to break through the restrictions of the super-large battlefield in a short time. Of course, this didn't only apply to the alien 12-star ultimate beings. If the human civilization's supreme beings desired to interfere with matters within the battlefield, and the 12-star ultimate beings of other peak tribal powers didn't agree, it would also be very difficult to influence the battlefield in a short amount of time. This was mutual. Shen Yuan Supreme, your galaxy master from the human civilization, very good indeed. Was the final method employed by the galaxy master sourced from your human civilization's ultimate reserve? To gain dominance of the battlefield for the first time, did your human civilization actually resort to using your ultimate reserve? We're done for. This time all 11 peak tribal powers have fallen into the hands of human civilization. One by one, the 12-star ultimate beings turned their gazes toward the 9 supreme beings of human civilization, their tones displeased and expressions cold. Although the 11th level powerhouses who fell on the battlefield were mostly clones, many of the supreme weapons ended up in the hands of the Galaxy Master. These supreme weapons, the accumulation of unknown years of effort by various peak tribal powers, now all benefited the Galaxy Master. Had it not been for the restraints of the super-large battlefield, during those 6 seconds, there really would have been 12-star ultimate beings unable to resist intervening. At least several queens of the insect race and progenitors of the Tianyu clan would have likely lost control, especially the insect race. Their hives are already scarce, and the so-called Sea of Bugs tactic refers to the countless insect race warriors spawned by the hives. As for the hives themselves, they are extremely rare. Ha 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 ha. A smile spread across Shen Yuan Supreme's face, utterly ignoring the dissatisfaction of the many 12-star ultimate beings. What defines a peak tribal power? It is to stand at the pinnacle of the universe, with virtually no possibility of falling. Even if the human civilization were to go to war with the other 11 peak tribal powers at once, it would not be destroyed, and the 11 peak tribal powers would not dare to press human civilization too hard. Therefore, the performance of Lin Yuan on the battlefield, even if it caused unanimous dissatisfaction among the other 11 peak tribal powers, was of no concern to the 9 supreme beings of human civilization. The rules of the super-large-scale war had long been set. If your tribal 11th level were slaughtered, it's because you were too weak. Supreme Xia Qin also maintained a smile nearby. At the same time, Shen Yuan Supreme's voice sounded in his ear. Xia Qin, was that final method employed by the Galaxy Master one of human civilization's ultimate reserves? Shen Yuan Supreme's tone was puzzled. Shen Yuan Supreme knew almost all about human civilization's ultimate reserves, and there was no such method as Lin Yuan had employed. But aside from the ultimate reserves, what else could explain the scene of the crushing of tens of thousands of 11th level aliens? I am not sure either. Supreme Xia Qin immediately replied telepathically. In fact, he was quite puzzled. He really knew nothing. Supreme Xia Qin had indeed thought of endowing Lin Yuan with certain fallbacks, but these had no significant relation to the ultimate reserves of human civilization. You're not sure either. Shen Yuan Supreme fell silent. Could it be that the Galaxy Master's final method of crushing tens of thousands of 11th level aliens was achieved on his own? Chapter 878 Transfer. Perhaps the Galaxy Master has come upon some other opportunity? Xia Qin Ultimate being replied. What Lin Yuan had initiated with his divine ability world was incredibly powerful, beyond the understanding of ultimate beings toward level 11 lifeforms. Thus, in the eyes of many level 12 ultimate beings, Lin Yuan must have relied on an external object. It was inconceivable that such a display of power could be achieved on his own. Even the 9 ultimate beings of the Human Civilization Alliance instinctively thought the same. They had indeed witnessed the astonishing phenomena when Lin Yuan stepped into level 11. But without reaching level 12, no matter how profound one's accumulation is, they remain a life form within the river of time. Relying solely on oneself, one cannot demonstrate that kind of terrifying power, which far surpasses level 11. In fact, the ultimate being's thoughts were not wrong. Without Divine Ability World, even with Lin Yuan's strength, sweeping away many level 11 powerhouses would require a considerable amount of time. Tens of thousands of level 11 powerhouses, if they scatter in a swarm, Lin Yuan would truly be helpless. After all, he is not an ultimate being. Divine Ability World allowed Lin Yuan to fully utilize his strongest advantage. His inner world, which had been enhanced over 20 times by the mysterious gourd and had drawn the attention of the Chaos Void Origin twice. Multiple factors affected Divine Ability World, causing its power to vastly exceed expectations. Of course, the formidable power of Divine Ability World was entirely because of Lin Yuan. Had it been any other being, even a legendary level 11 perfect existence with the exact same Divine Ability World as Lin Yuan, they couldn't have achieved such destructive power. A legendary level 11 perfect existence, whose inner world is at most tens of millions of miles in scope, what could they do even if they possessed the world Divine Ability? Should be. The Shenyuan Supreme slightly nodded. He also agreed with Xia Qin Ultimate Being's point that the Galaxy Master must have other opportunities. The Galaxy Master has truly brought us a great surprise. The Shenyuan Supreme glanced at the ultimate beings from the 11 Peak Clan forces in the distance, and a smile appeared on his face. On any scale of battlefield, when the Human Civilization Alliance contends with other Peak Clan forces, it usually requires a brutal fight and a long period of clashing to either win a victory or ultimately fail. Like just now, barely at the beginning of the contention, and there was already a sense of ending, it was the first time the Human Civilization Alliance had experienced this. Shenyuan. Those guys seemed to have started to join forces. The Void God Ultimate Being suddenly spoke up, his voice reaching the ears of the other 8 ultimate beings of the Human Civilization Alliance. At this moment, apart from the Human Civilization Alliance, the Insect Race, Tianyu Clan, Star Alliance, and other Peak Clan forces level 12 ultimates were subtly rapidly communicating. Even the ultimate being from the usually exceedingly proud Robber Clan showed a slight change in expression, clearly joining the communication. The Void God Ultimate Being, though uncertain about the specifics of their conversation, was sure it had to do with the Human Civilization Alliance. Normal. The Shenyuan Supreme remained calm. Just like in past wars, in the later stages, other clan forces often join hands to combat the Robber Clan. Now, due to the overwhelming combat power displayed by the Galaxy Master, he has naturally replaced what was once the Robber Clan, and it was natural to be targeted by all Peak Clan forces. The Shenyuan Supreme was not surprised by this. If another Peak Clan force produced a strong being similar to the Galaxy Master, the Human Civilization Alliance would not face it alone, but would choose to ally. On the edge of the core battlefield area, Lin Yuan's figure suddenly appeared, observing his surroundings carefully. I remember that the insect race's hive mother, carrying the clan suppression weapon Nightmare Realm, fled in this direction last. Lin Yuan scrutinized every inch of space, multiple spatial layers coming into his view, incessantly searching for the trace of the strongest level 11 of the insect race. In the center of the battlefield, after obliterating tens of thousands of alien level 11, Lin Yuan gave several instructions to Shenyuan Yu and other evolved humans of the Human Civilization Alliance. He then personally pursued those 20 or more strongest level 11s who managed to escape the range of Divine Ability World with their clan suppression weapons. Though Lin Yuan was quite wary of the clan suppression weapons, which contained tactics from level 12 ultimates, killing those strongest of level 11 clan suppression weapons aside would still be a loss for the aliens. Even if only a clone is killed, it weakens the enemy's foundation, as creating a clone is not a simple task. I can sense the residual trace of causality from the strongest level 11 of the insect race in this area, but I'm just not certain where it is. Lin Yuan shook his head slightly. The ability to avoid his senses must undoubtedly come from that clan suppression weapon. Forget it. Let's switch to another one. After sensing for a while with no gains, Lin Yuan directly turned and left. There were more than 20 strongest level 11s who managed to escape. If he couldn't find the insect race, then he would switch to the next one. Long after Lin Yuan left, the strongest of level 11 from the insect race, hiding within a certain spatial layer with the aid of the clan suppression weapon Nightmare Realm, breathed a huge sigh of relief. How can this galaxy master be so strong? The strongest of level 11 of the insect race still trembled somewhat. The greatest effect of Nightmare Realm is to suppress all soul forces, even when wielded by an ultimate being. But now, Nightmare Realm was used by her to conceal her presence and hide herself. The level 11 of the insect race who had held Nightmare Realms probably had never tried this before. As a clan suppression weapon at the level 11 tier, it was fundamentally capable of sweeping over others, even when facing the strongest level 11 of the robber clan. Relying on Nightmare Realm, they could still protect themselves. Chapter 879. Regarding the current state of being destitute and homeless, this was a first. What exactly do the queens intend? And how should we deal with the Galaxy Master? Even after the departure of the Galaxy Master, the most powerful of the insect race at the 11th layer did not dare to move in the slightest, their minds racing. Elsewhere on the battlefield, Lin Yuan stretched out his right hand, and spacetime rippled like the Milky Way, from which an exquisitely beautiful woman with 20 pairs of wings emerged from the spatial crevice. Found you! At the mere thought from Lin Yuan, spacetime coalesced from all directions. Not good. Tian Yumeng's face changed drastically, wearing that divine angelic crown that radiated an incomparably sacred light, piercing through numerous spacetimes. The powers of the 12th layer converged, breaking free from the spatial bind in a flash and fleeing far away. She ran again? Lin Yuan sighed inwardly. Those peak wielders of the 11th layer holding clan suppression weapons managed to repeatedly escape from his grasp not because of their own strength, but because of the methods left behind within the clan suppression weapons by the 12th layer. With my current strength, dealing with the clan suppression weapons of the major peak clans is indeed somewhat strenuous. Lin Yuan thought to himself in silence. His pursuit of those most powerful escapees of the 11th layer was a casual effort. Killing a few would be great, and if not, it wasn't a big deal. At the very least, it clarified the gap between himself and the strongest beings. Xia Qin, the supreme being, is looking for me? At the stir of Lin Yuan's thought, his true essence on the Milky Way main star immediately split a wisp of spiritual will, connecting to the virtual world, and entering the personal world of Xia Qin, the supreme being. The Grand Evolution Tower. Xia Qin, the supreme being, sits high on the throne. Lin Yuan appeared below. Greetings, supreme being. Lin Yuan bowed slightly to Xia Qin, the supreme being, as a sign of respect. Lin Yuan. Xia Qin, the supreme being, looked at Lin Yuan with some realization. When he first summoned Lin Yuan, the latter had just entered the 8th layer, an incredibly naive young one. How much time has passed since then for Lin Yuan to have grown to this extent? Although all supreme beings of the 12th layer believe that Lin Yuan's method of annihilating tens of thousands of the 11th layer came from external forces. But to activate those external forces, strength is also needed. For instance, to refine a supreme weapon, one needs the insights of at least the 5th realm of spacetime. Without it, the supreme weapon can't be activated even if it is right before one's eyes. Supreme being I. Lin Yuan pondered for a moment, planning to offer an explanation he'd prepared in advance to Xia Qin, the supreme being. No need to tell me. Xia Qin, the supreme being, waved his hand, indicating that human civilization places great importance on privacy, and supreme beings are no exception, not casually prying into each other's secrets. Knowing about Lin Yuan's fortuitous secrets was sufficient. There was no need to vocalize them. Although those alien races of the 11th layer have been almost entirely killed or injured on the battlefield, the war has not ended yet. You need to be even more careful from now on. Xia Qin, the supreme being, said with a slightly grave expression. The war is not over? Lin Yuan's face was serious. Currently, the 11 Peak clan forces still have the most powerful beings of the 11th layer barely clinging to life, so they cannot be said to have been completely annihilated. Even if these most powerful beings of the 11th layer also die at Lin Yuan's hands, those Peak clan forces can continuously send more of the 11th layer to join the battlefield. So many supreme weapons and treasures have fallen into your hands. TSK, the old fellows are probably going to be desperate. Xia Qin, the supreme being, snickered coldly, then looked at Lin Yuan and said, according to the rules of the super-large battlefield, within 100 years of the war start, entry is allowed, but not exit. Understood. Lin Yuan nodded. This means that even if he acquires a great number of supreme weapons and treasures, as long as within 100 years, Lin Yuan's Taiyang divine spirit dies on the battlefield, then those supreme weapons and treasures will return to the hands of the Peak clan forces. Right now, we are under the close scrutiny of those old-timers, and we cannot help you transfer those supreme weapons and treasures. Xia Qin, the supreme being, sighed. So many mighty weapons and treasures made even the strongest like Xia Qin envious. If only they could be moved out of the battlefield, even if one didn't keep any for oneself, the Peak clans would suffer a heavy loss. Moreover, these mighty weapons and treasures, in the hands of the Galaxy Master, would also enhance and lift the foundation of human civilization. It's a pity. All the Peak clans were guarding against the strongest of human civilization taking covert action to move those mighty weapons and treasures out of Lin Yuan's hands on the battlefield. Super-large battlefields are inherently capable of isolating the inside from the outside, and entities of the 12th layer, the ultimate beings, cannot directly intervene. What's more, with many ultimate beings watching, the 9 strongest members of human civilization are unlikely to engage in any secret tactics. As for those mighty weapons and treasures, don't be too insistent on them. If you feel you cannot defend them, just give them up, suggested the strongest Xia Qin. Super-large battlefield. Lin Yuan returned to the war base of human civilization. In the control room, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged. 623 mighty weapons. Inside the world of Lin Yuan's consciousness incarnation, numerous mighty weapons piled up like mountains, their terrifying aura permeating and spreading. The trip to the two-dimensional world yielded Lin Yuan just over 30 mighty weapons. But now the number of mighty weapons had surged to over 600. So many mighty weapons? And you want me to give them up? Lin Yuan, of course, was unwilling, as these were precious resources for cultivation. Even if he couldn't use them himself, he could exchange them for the treasures he desired. Among the 10,000 races of the cosmic starry skies, mighty weapons were akin to hard currency, which could be exchanged for any resource. For the strongest beings like Xia Qin and the other 8 human civilizations' ultimate beings, they couldn't think of any way to help Lin Yuan silently transfer this batch of mighty weapons and treasures. The ultimate entities of the 12th layer from other Peak clans also didn't believe that human civilization had the capability to transfer them. The super-large battlefield was right under their eyes, and if the 9 strongest members of human civilization interfered at all, they would immediately be discovered by all the ultimate beings. And without relying on the strongest of human civilization, merely relying on a life from the river of time like the Galaxy Master, there was even less possibility to transfer them. Super-large battlefields are isolated from the outside space-time, and unless at specific times, life inside cannot get out at all. Even the strongest inside a super-large battlefield, if they tried to leave using their powerful abilities, would cause violent space-time fluctuations, which would then be detected by all the ultimate entities. But what the 12th layer ultimate entities couldn't do doesn't mean Lin Yuan couldn't. The war base of human civilization inside the control room. With a slight movement of Lin Yuan's thoughts, a separate incarnation was created. This incarnation carried a thread of his mental presence, able to exhibit strength from the 3rd to the 4th layer of the 11th realm. Lin Yuan looked at the incarnation before him, pondered for a moment, then took out a spatial bracelet. Within the spatial bracelet were over 600 mighty weapons, along with many precious treasures. In any case, all the gains from this trip in the super-large battlefield were stored inside Lin Yuan's spatial bracelet. Swoosh! The spatial bracelet rose into the air, hovering in front of the incarnation, lightly grasped by it. Eventually, the incarnation nodded slightly towards Lin Yuan, its figure slowly disappearing, vanishing before Lin Yuan, disappearing within the super-large battlefield. Xianhuang's secret realm. Lin Yuan's incarnation appeared out of nowhere. Ha ha ha! Indeed, even within a super-large battlefield, it's easy to enter the Xianhuang's secret realm. A smile appeared on Lin Yuan's face. Even the ultimate beings of the 12th layer, if they wanted to leave the super-large battlefield, would cause severe space-time fluctuations. But Lin Yuan, as the master of the Xianhuang secret realm, merely had to think it, and with the Xianhuang seal, he could descend from any location in the universe into the Xianhuang secret realm. Although the space-time was isolated in the super-large battlefield, it still belonged within the universe. Lin Yuan could likewise easily descend. And in the process of leaving the super-large battlefield, it didn't raise any ripples or disturbances. The Xianhuang secret realm was opened by Xianhuang himself. And Xianhuang, a Chaos Realm powerhouse with an understanding of the 9th realm of spacetime, was far beyond the imagination of the 12th layer ultimate entities of various peak clans in the field of spacetime. Chapter 880 Lin Yuan's reputation. The incarnation carried all the supreme weapons into the Xianhuang secret realm at that moment. Lin Yuan knew right then that everything was in order. Even if the Taiyang divine spirit fell on the battlefield, these supreme weapons were completely his own, and those of rival races at 12-star could not take them away. Next, there's one more thing I need to confirm. Lin Yuan's thoughts flickered, and he arrived at the deepest part of the secret realm, which was also the safest place. Whoosh! The Taiyin primordial spirit descended, appearing here as well. Master! At that moment, a 6-armed figure emerged, bowing slightly towards Lin Yuan. He appeared here in response to Lin Yuan's summon. As the spirit of this secret realm, you should be able to tell whether any of these 12-star weapons retain any sort of residual marks or techniques, right? Lin Yuan looked at the 6-armed figure, took out his spatial bracelet, and directly handed it over. On the super-large battlefield, the more than 600 supreme weapons collected all came from various peak race forces, and there might be residual techniques. To leave no stone unturned, Lin Yuan naturally had to check them himself. The 6-armed figure was the spirit of the Xianhuang secret realm, created by Xianhuang himself. Although not strong in combat, its perception of foreign energy was definitely superior to Lin Yuan. Let me take a look. The 6-armed figure took the spatial bracelet and started to inspect every supreme weapon inside and out with the power of the Xianhuang secret realm. So many 12-star weapons? The 6-armed figure was slightly shocked inside. These 12-star weapons, while negligible in the prime era of the Xianhuang lineage, were uncommon in the universe. How on earth did all these 12-star weapons end up in the master's hands? The 6-armed figure reined in its thoughts, refrained from further speculation, and immediately began to inspect each supreme weapon carefully. After a short while, the 6-armed figure handed back the bracelet and respectfully reported, "Master, there are no residual energy traces or techniques left on any of the 12-star weapons." Understood. Lin Yuan nodded. In fact, if techniques from the rival 12-star beings were really left in the supreme weapons, they should have been activated when Lin Yuan exterminated those rival 11-level beings, just like how the clan suppression weapons were triggered. Not being activated indicated there was a high probability that no contingency was left behind. Although Lin Yuan had already guessed this would be the case, he still felt at ease after having the 6-armed figure inspect them. Lin Yuan trusted the 6-armed figure quite a bit. Perhaps it wasn't as strong as a 12-star in direct combat, but for a 12-star from the rival races to leave behind traces and evade the detection of the 6-armed figure, they would have to be a Chaos Realm powerhouse, otherwise it would be impossible. And Chaos Realm powerhouses, each was an unrivaled entity sweeping the chaos void. Within a single cosmic era since the birth of the universe, it was impossible for a Chaos Realm powerhouse to emerge. If any of the 11 peak race forces had a Chaos Realm powerhouse, it would no longer be a matter concerning human civilization, and all life in the universe would have to submit to this Chaos Realm powerhouse. Dismissed. Lin Yuan looked at the six-armed figure. Yes. The six-armed figure disappeared on the spot. All these supreme weapons will be stored here. Lin Yuan went to where he kept the other supreme weapons and 12-star treasures and placed the spatial bracelet in one corner. For now, Lin Yuan was not short of supreme weapons, and to ensure the smooth operation of the super-large battlefield, he had allowed the Taiyang Divine Spirit to select a few suitable supreme weapons to carry. For Lin Yuan, the worst outcome would be the fall of the Taiyang Divine Spirit on the battlefield and the loss of a few supreme weapons, which was a completely bearable loss. Should the Taiyang Divine Spirit fall, Lin Yuan could easily reconjure it. Supreme weapons? Before entering the super-large battlefield, Lin Yuan had already reserved more than 30 supreme weapons. Super-large battlefield. Inside the Human Civilization Alliance war base, Lin Yuan sat cross-legged in the control room, with Shen Yuanyu and many other human civilizations evolvers standing below, reporting the latest situation on the battlefield. Galaxy Master, at present, our strong members of the Human Civilization Alliance have taken control of the victory altar at the center of the battlefield. We only need to persist for 100 years to successfully obtain the war domination rights for the first time, said Shen Yuanyu with a respectful tone. At this moment, he completely regarded Lin Yuan as a high-ranking individual above himself, fully convinced and without any resentment. The other 11th level perfected evolvers present also felt the same. Are you kidding me? The scene of the Galaxy Master crushing tens of thousands of alien species of the 11th level with a simple gesture is still swirling in the minds of all human evolvers. In the Galaxy Master, they vaguely perceived a similar disdain for the 11th level as if they were mere ants. Victory Altar. Lin Yuan opened his eyes, his gaze deep. In the normal course of war, the scenario would unfold with one victor emerging from the 12 Peak clan forces after a bloody slaughter to occupy the victory altar. To face the counterattack of other Peak clan forces, one only needs to continue occupying the victory altar for 100 years and then declare the end of the first large-scale battlefield, possibly taking command of the war. Of course, that is the ideal state. In reality, most clan forces are unable to occupy the victory altar for a century, and should they lose it to another clan force and then recapture it, the count of occupied time must start anew. Thus, a major war could theoretically end in 100 years, but in practice it often lasts for thousands to tens of thousands of years as the battlefield altar swings back and forth between a few Peak clan forces, which couldn't be more normal. I will go to the victory altar and preside over it, Lin Yuan said, knowing that the time spent controlling the victory altar is crucial to the end of the war. Naturally, he must personally ensure that the defensive power there is the strongest. Reminded by Xia Qin, the ultimate evolver, Lin Yuan realized that the other 11 Peak clan forces wouldn't easily concede defeat. Whether for the dominant control over the First War, or for those hundreds of ultimate weapons that fell into Lin Yuan's hands. In fact, for the Peak clan forces, the latter is more important. Losing command over the First War might result in some loss of territory, but they could regain it by capturing control of the war again. But losing ultimate weapons? It's most likely irreversible, not just one or two ultimate weapons but hundreds of them. After reporting everything, Shen Yuanyu and many other human evolvers respectfully departed. Victory Altar. Lin Yuan looked in the direction of the victory altar, which exuded a strange aura that allowed him to easily pinpoint its exact location. The emergence of the victory altar was designed to intensify the deadly competition between major Peak clan forces. Who knows what means those alien 12th levels will use against me? Lin Yuan was extremely relaxed, for all the ultimate weapons had been sent to the Shenhuang's secret realm. Even if the situation deteriorated, Lin Yuan would still profit enormously. His baseline bounty had already been secured. Yu Clan territory. A secret location here housed a vast and immense world, at the center of which stood a tall building, a palace of majestic proportions, permeated with the ambience from the dawn of the universe. Suddenly, a figure appeared before the palace. The figure entered the palace and bowed respectfully to the towering figure seated high within. Greetings to the sovereign. Within the Yu Clan, the ultimate 11th levels are also referred to as sovereigns, a title meaning supreme and unparalleled. Rise. How do you perceive that galaxy master? The sovereign seated atop the palace spoke, looking down at the figure below. This figure, Fan Gaoma, was the strongest 11th level of the Yu clan, wielding a clan suppression weapon, currently hiding in a corner of the battlefield and on constant alert for the Galaxy Master's approach. Sovereign, the Galaxy Master is too strong. Even if I forcibly use the clan suppression weapon, I feel I still cannot contend. Fan Gaoma spoke softly, his voice revealing a hint of despair. As a clan born at the very beginning of the cosmos and even after splitting from the Universe clan, the Yu clan was immensely proud, holding only the Robber clan in high regard and looking down upon the other Peak clan forces that rose later. However, the Galaxy Master had made Fan Gaoma acutely aware of how ludicrous his pride in his Yu clan bloodline truly was in the face of absolute power. The Galaxy Master is indeed formidable. Even if you were to carry the ultimate foundations of the human civilization into battle, the strength and focus needed to activate and operate them are beyond your reach. The Yu clan's sovereign nodded slightly and then changed the subject. But no matter how formidable, he is still just a creature of the 11th level and can be dealt with. Hello everyone, this is Shadow. Due to copyright restrictions on YouTube, I can't publish many of the audiobooks you love. That's why I've created a special paid service where you can enjoy over 300 high-quality audiobooks from platforms like Webnovel, Pocket FM, Audible, Wuxia, and more. Each novel comes as a one-time purchase, no subscriptions, no hidden fees. After payment, you'll receive full access via Telegram, along with all future updates for that novel. You'll find a wide selection of your favorite genres and titles, always in premium audio quality. Check the full list of available novels in the description. DM me now to get your favorite stories in audiobook form and start listening today.